listening.
Again. With Woofy.
And your main host, Danny.
And your main host, Woofy. Which is always over the host, Danny.
I see.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
How are you feeling?
My ear is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the dog just got scared of nothing. It's just a bug. Leave the bug there. Leave it alone.
My ear is weird.
Yeah.
And
But I don't think it's coming from your ear.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so.
I think so because mainly of the stress. I know I've been doing too much and I know it's spinning a little slower right now, but that's usually the time when things like that come.
Yeah, sure. Once the storm is kind of passed.
Yeah, and July was just craziness
was crazy.
every fucking day.
Yeah.
And I haven't had like a full weekend for weeks where I haven't done anything for like 2 days because a fucking moped. We're sitting outside again. That's why you hear a lot of things.
Summer.
You hear
and he already had the stuff up here for recording, so it's practical.
The kids are playing in the background and they're being annoying.
That's nice. No, that's nice. That's a nice sound.
And the spiders are spidering. And the birds are
taints
birding.
Are tainting.
Hashtag tainting. And the birds are birding.
The birds are birding. The dogs are dogging.
Dogging. And the leaves are leaving.
The leaves are leaving?
No, they're leaving in fall, actually.
Oh, I see. It's a good one.
Yeah. And the flies are flying and the bees are being.
Yeah, Voify's not been feeling well the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And
I have what the translator translated into sudden hear loss.
Hearing
or rapid hearing loss.
Yeah, or like acute
hearing loss.
Where it's not really like you're permanently losing your hearing, but you have like symptoms of hearing loss.
Yeah, which can also result in dizziness. And today I was so stupid that...
Yeah, but the dizziness, do you think that's what... I think it comes from the...
I think it's a combination.
Are so tight.
I think it's a combination.
And all of those muscles where I was... Oh.
Is that your phone?
No.
Put your phone away.
Maybe. Wait, I put it on airplane mode. It's in airplane mode.
Whoa. That was weird.
That was weird.
Maybe.
Is it because I moved the chair?
No. Maybe someone on... No, that was totally a frequency.
Oh. What were we saying?
I don't know.
I don't even know if that was... Do you think that's audible on the...
I don't know. But I think it's a combination of my neck and
my
my stress and just not having too much downtime right now.
Yeah. Oh, but he has a massage therapist as a wife. And so he's gotten some... Probably not super comfortable massages, but massages.
I'm stupid because I wasn't feeling well. But still I got up today and knew that we had to work. And we did basically until now, almost now. And I didn't eat anything.
Yeah, see, that's just dumb.
Like until like lunchtime. Yeah. And I think my blood sugar levels completely dropped.
Probably.
And because I already was like a little dizzy or not feeling wobbly, I would say wobbly on my feet, I got really dizzy. So everything started spinning and I felt like that was super weird. So I only had that once before when I was really drunk, but not even to that extent where when I was moving, I felt like my inner organ that is responsible for like the stabilization.
In your inner ear. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, was moving like 1 second after it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was moving my head to the left and it took a few milliseconds for it to move too.
Mm-hmm.
It was super weird, especially when I moved up and down.
Pretty sure it's a bone, technically.
It's a bone.
In your
in
ear.
liquid.
It's a teeny, teeny, tiny little bone.
Yeah.
And it's responsible for balance and all that stuff.
So super weird. So I ate something and I had a Coke, which ultimately helped.
Yeah, sugar's good then.
And I felt better. My ear is still weird, but other than that,
it'll go away.
I'm fine. So yeah, but we thought we might not do a podcast today, but then I said, hey, I have the equipment set up. And here we are now. Look at us. We should totally rethink our,
That wasn't even a full thought.
I know, but we should maybe release episodes on Monday.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like we would record more, so...
I don't think it would change anything.
I think so, because recording on a weekend is easier. Easy.
Yeah, but we could just as easily record on a weekend now and still release it on Friday.
Yeah.
So,
but the pressure, it's bullshit. Always the pressure.
But it's not. If we say we record this episode now, right? And we release it right away because it's Friday and we already said on Instagram we'd be a little late. And then this weekend we record another one.
Yeah,
and then it's ready for Friday. Yeah. And then we don't have to do one on Thursday or on Friday. And then we can just do it on the weekend.
That would be optimal. Or record two so we have a spare.
Yeah.
But life is not that easy sometimes. It sounds easy, but it's not.
It's not.
And if you have other responsibilities and, people don't care if you release one or not, for example. And people don't care if you release one or not, seemingly, then,
I don't think that's true.
You think people, the one person.
Steven.
The one person is like, not Steven. Fuck, I'm blanking on the name.
Do you mean in Smartless?
Yeah. No, what?
What's her name from Wisconsin? Terry? What is it?
Cousin. Tammy.
Tammy?
Is it Tammy?
I don't think it's Tammy. No. I don't know.
Now, there are at least two people who are like, oh yeah, there's a new episode. And we can totally shout out Steven. Steven! Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, but what are our new listeners going to think if they're listening to this episode now? And maybe they go back and listen to other episodes where we basically shout out Steven every single episode at this point.
That's not true.
Yeah,
I think we shouted out once or twice.
The last episode, you said that he was sexy or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the episode before that,
he's a sexy motherfucker.
So is his wife.
That's true. They're a sexy couple.
They are indeed.
So, what's your deal? Are you down to clown?
Just how married are you? Down to clown?
Down to clown?
We're not creeps. That's a Parks and Rec reference.
Right. That's a Parks and Rec reference.
John Ralphio.
John Ralphio. Best character.
The
Money,
worst.
Please. She's literally the worst.
Okay. Anyways, what are we talking about today?
I hear you, but if you don't say yes, I will literally burn down your closet, the toilet. Set a fire in the toilet.
She said, if you don't give me what I want, I will literally start a fire in the bathroom.
Oh, man. Money, please.
Okay.
So, we're stopping.
We're stopping.
With the Parks and Rec references.
But watch Parks and Rec if you haven't watched it. It's brilliant.
Yes. Shameless plug. I have not been in it. We are not affiliated with it. We don't get any money from it.
Okay, let's keep going because the sun is coming over to my side now. You put up the umbrella, but it's not helping me that much. And I burn like a tomato.
Just move.
And then it's really loud.
Or put your hand to the other side.
It's on my leg too. Your hand okay, what are we talking about today? Wait.
We're talking about trying not to get the little things to annoy you that much to, keep calm more.
Yeah.
Because apparently I can't do that.
You can't.
I can, god damn it. Fuck you.
So I think I used to be this way too, though. But Voife's the kind of person where he has to comment every time. Like, you have to make it known that something annoys you.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you always realize that you're doing it
No.
because it just comes so naturally. So like the dog barks, and let's be honest here. This dog barks at everything.
Yeah.
She barks at me when I come home. She barks at you when you come home.
Yeah.
She barks at something that's not even there. She just barks, and she doesn't listen to anybody.
Yeah.
So if you say stop, she's deaf. She doesn't hear you. It's just a whole thing. So I have just come to accept that the dog barks. And instead of getting annoyed by it, if I have the time, I go over to her and try to like just gently pet her to calm her down.
Yeah.
But yelling at her doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't hear you. And she also doesn't care. And then if you're internalizing or making it very known that you're annoyed, then you're also putting all of that on yourself. Like, you know what I mean? You can't. It's not just with the dog. That's just an example. But
I think it's just you're like, there's this thing when you smile at yourself in the mirror every day, you know, smiling obviously raises your endorphins and does things in your brain to make you feel better. And if you do that enough, you can actually use that. And I think it's the same with being annoyed, sighing, just having a certain demeanor, because it maybe not releases certain things, but it puts you in a certain headspace.
Yeah.
And if you're already stressed or whatever, I think it just increases that. But that's the thing, you know, it's like, it feels like a cycle, because the more you are stressed, the more you get annoyed by little things.
I mean, not necessarily. If you can learn to, because for me, for example, there are plenty of little things that annoy me.
Like,
but yeah, like the dog barking is one.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
You know, there's enough things that annoy me, but I have learned, especially while we've been building, and I think I kind of started to take on this mindset when we started building.
I mean, you have been annoying with me too, or harsh with me.
Sure, there have been times where I've snapped, but I don't do it like consistently.
I mean, today in the morning was pretty consistent.
What are you talking
like
about?
for the whole morning.
When did I snap?
You were very harsh with me. Not necessarily snapping, but harsh.
One time I was harsh with you because the way that you sometimes explain things is with this tone.
Yeah, because you're a little dum-dum, you know.
But see, that's exactly, it makes me feel that way, the way that you express things.
Really?
Yeah, because you say things like how we should have laid the mats down. We were laying down these little mats. It doesn't matter what they're for. But we were laying them down, and you're supposed to lay them down one way, and I laid it down upside down.
Yeah, because otherwise they
roll back up on themselves.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that at first.
You did
and so
one
I did
wrong.
one wrong. I know I did one in the bathroom wrong too. But you also laid one down wrong, and I had to flip it over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the kitchen.
Oh, that might be true.
Yeah.
The one long one.
It is true.
It's true.
Anyways. So and this is like the first one that we're laying down, or that I laid down. And so I lay it down the wrong way. And you said in German, but you said in a tone, not you shouldn't. You did it wrong. So basically, like, you're automatically saying you did it wrong.
Yeah.
And if you lay it like that, it's going to be like this. And it's like with this tone where it's like angry.
Oh.
And
I wasn't angry.
Or frustrated, where it's like you could just easily. That's another example of like a way that you can express things without, because that also affects you if you have a tone.
Sure.
So you could just easily say, we should actually lay them the other way, because otherwise they roll up on themselves. And then it would be like, oh yeah, you're right. Good. Cool.
That's true.
But then I don't feel attacked, or I don't feel like an idiot. Because you're being helpful instead of being harsh with something.
I agree.
So yes, I was snappy then. I did snap back.
I think the thing is, most of the time I have my... She's so loud.
That was the dog.
I have that stuff in control, but since I'm not feeling well and the installateur, the plumber, was also stressing today because they were here in the morning right away, and I told them that, we get them in the morning, so the likelihood that we can put down the mats before they come, it's not possible. So that stressed me a little bit.
Sure.
Because obviously they were like able to start their to lay down the heating pipes for the floor heating. And that altogether might have contributed to my...
But what I was trying to say is my tactic, and I am not saying it works 100% of the time, because they're like you said,
60% of the time, every
it
time.
works all the time.
All the time.
No, 60% of the time it works every time.
Yeah.
But I've been really trying, especially because I know you. I knew when we started building, you would have a lot of stress. And you would let the little things stress you more than they need to. And so I decided from the beginning, I need to be the opposite of that. I need to not let anything stress me to that point. Because if both of us were super stressed, it would be insanity. And so I've been from the beginning trying to be the more positive one, say things will work out when they work out, and try not to like put too much stress on you. And also try to bring you down when you're feeling stressed. So I've kind of taken that upon myself as like, that's my main job. But it helps. And that's the thing. I've been noticing that there are plenty of things during this process that have stressed me out, or that I could easily complain about or vocalize that I'm stressed about. But I choose not to. And I choose to find a way to get that reduce that stress, not internalize it, but put it somewhere else or put it into something else. So whether it's I'm going to bake something, because for me that's relaxing, or
bake something.
I'm not stressed right now. No. Or I'm going to do a workout, or I'm going to do yoga, or I'm going to,
that helps me too. That helps me too. And the thing is, I wanted to do a workout this week multiple times, but because I wasn't feeling super well, I thought, okay, no, I don't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
And since there is shit to do here, and today, for example, we carried a lot of shit around, which probably wasn't the best to do for me, but it still needed to happen.
Yeah. But there are still times where you have some downtime where you can release some of that stuff. So, at night, we don't always have to watch a movie. I'm happy to say you should play something, or you should read, or you can watch something on your own.
You say it now here, so people think you're so thoughtful and nice. But
in the last few months, when you've wanted to play, have I said no?
Like the couple of times.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I know. The thing is, most of the time, I don't want to do anything anymore at night, especially if there's a movie I want to watch or a show or whatever. That's something I prefer, unless they're really like friends who want to play, like Toby or someone else.
That's what I mean. I don't just mean that, but you could even watch something alone if you want to watch something alone, if you just like need time for yourself.
We should try something quick.
What should we try?
So if Toby is listening right now, Toby, text me right now the password Pumpernickel. If you're listening, Toby, just text me.
Do you think
and if you're
Toby's
driving,
listening?
Maybe. And if you're driving, when you stop driving, text me.
Does Toby listen to our podcast?
Sometimes.
Oh, that's nice. Hi, Toby.
No, don't say hi. He's maybe not listening.
But if you are listening, hi, Toby.
No, don't. No, God damn it.
Tobias.
Toby.
Okay. What were we just saying?
I don't know.
But no, but I do think I think that it's just something you need to practice. Like if you just today, for example, when we were just walking onto the terrace and up the stairs, the dog barked.
Yeah, she barked at us.
You literally, instead of just walking past and walking up the stairs, you stopped, looked at the dog, rolled your eyes, sighed, said something like, "Oh, the dog's so annoying," and then you walked upstairs.
Yeah.
I'm like, all of that could have just been.
I know, but I also stopped because I had to grip the thing a certain way to move it up.
But you made a conscious decision to
I did
vocalize your grievances.
I did.
And that you do it, I think, more than you think you do.
No, I know I do it.
Good
and
for you
the thing
to
is,
try to not vocalize those things, but instead your head, not even say it in your head, because that also is the same thing.
I know.
But just to say, like, she's annoying, but we can't do anything about it. We can't control that.
I worked towards doing that, and I think especially last year I was already pretty good with that, where I recognized those things and tried not to let get to me. And weirdly, most of the time it works, unless it's the dog. But the thing is, it's not necessarily the dog that annoys me. It's more my mom, that she's not able and capable to keep the dog in line.
Yeah, but
she can bark. Let her bark once or twice, but she's not able, because she's not alpha dog in that house. I'm the alpha dog, and she knows that, because I look at her, I point at her, and she knows to shut up.
But this is the funny thing. I think that Pünktchen, the dog, she sees both of us as more alpha than she is.
Yeah.
And with your mom, the dog is the alpha.
Yeah.
And you see that because your mom went away for a couple of days.
And she didn't bark once.
The dog did not bark once.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Yeah.
Plenty of people walked past. A couple people came up to the door.
Yeah.
You know, people were walking in the garden. Workers were here working. Nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
And as soon as your mom came home, like within minutes of your mom being home, it all started again.
Yeah.
So, but that's the other thing. You can be annoyed with the fact that your mom doesn't do anything about it, but then you can make the flip in your head, switch it around, and think about the fact the dog is how old? 12, 13?
I know, she's not going to be around
she's
that much.
That's not the point.
Oh.
At this point, she's not going to learn anymore that she can't do that, because she's been doing it for so long.
Again, that's not what I'm saying.
And at this point, your mom also can't change that. No matter what if your mom from today to tomorrow decided to try to become alpha dog, it wouldn't work.
No, I know. But also with her way of talking to the dog,
I know
that would not happen, because it's not a strict tone.
No,
it's more
she's
like
not firm.
She has the same tone when she's playing with the dog and being strict, so to say. So yeah, but let's not talk about the dog anymore.
No, but it seems like a lot of your annoyances lately have to do with either your mom, the dog, or just there's so much to think about. There's so many people to call. There's so much of this. I get that.
That's the whole thing. And then when my mom especially asks me things like, is there someone coming? How's it going? You know,
what are you even saying?
Yeah. Doesn't really matter. Like questions that are not necessarily, first of all, to her.
They're relevant. They're not relevant.
They're not relevant to her, at least. And also, I don't want to explain everything, because
I get that.
I have so much stuff in my head, and I really enjoy the quiet times right now.
Yeah.
And especially because so many people are here a lot. And now, thankfully, it's getting a little less. But it's a lot. And you have to explain, because everybody asks all the time.
Asks.
And you explain things all the time, almost every day to everybody. Hey, how's it going at the Bastelle? And I mean, it's nice to talk about it once a week, maybe. But yeah.
No, I get that. And I think, but that's another thing. You can also set boundaries, and you can tell her in a nice way when we're not working, like when you're sitting and eating or watching something, or when you're not doing something that's related to the house, like building and all of that. That topic's off limits, unless it's like an emergency, you know, just say it's off limits, because you need space from it too. We're not only working on the construction site, we're living on the construction site. We're around it 24/7. So that's when, like, she asks me questions too, and I typically will either just say, I don't know,
Yeah.
because then you avoid the conversation, even if I know the answer.
Yeah.
Or I just say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's happening at this point, and we don't need to talk about it now. And that's usually enough.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that we come back to boundaries. You know, we've talked about boundaries before, and it's important to set those boundaries because it helps with your stress, and she doesn't need to know everything. That's good for her too, when she learns to live with the fact that she doesn't know every single thing that's happening.
I agree.
But you need, that's the thing that you should be vocalizing, not the thing that annoys you, but a way to minimize that from occurring. He's yawning right now. I'm boring him.
Yeah. You're always boring me.
Boundaries, Wolfgang.
You know, having a business, trying to balance that, trying to have all the tasks in your head and written down and trying to fulfill those tasks, then working at a company for a couple of hours a week. And then on top of that, having a construction site at home where it is demanding for you to be there or at least reachable every day, unless it's Saturday or Sunday. And for people to call you all the time and ask you things or come by and measure things or do things, it's pretty exhausting.
Hold that thought quick. I need to move my chair a little out of the sun, and it's going to be loud. Probably.
It's very loud. That's annoying.
Yeah, but I'm in the sun, and it's really hot. Okay, go ahead.
So, I don't know. I'm not trying to excuse my behavior. I'm not trying to say that.
The thing is, you don't have to excuse anything.
I know.
It's understandable. Everything
Sure,
that
but
you do
I
is
think
understandable, but I think it's a pattern that is one that you should try to break because it's not a healthy pattern.
No, it's not. But then again, I tried to, and I was much closer than I'm not now, because when I started my business and when like 2 years in with COVID and everything, I had to do that a lot already. So I know how it goes and I know how it works, and I know it's much better because I feel much better and I'm not like constantly in the state of annoyance with almost everything or everybody. But putting something like a construction site on top of that is a whole nother level of stress, especially if you have to do it almost alone in terms of planning and you know, figuring things out.
And I think I've said this on the podcast before, but Voife is basically a superstar, or however you want to look at it.
Yeah, I'm not a superstar. It's just
but for me, you are.
I'm the brain.
Because
I'm the brain of the whole thing.
Because for me with the language, I can speak the language, but
it's
not.
Bullshit. She could learn. She doesn't want to know. She doesn't want to learn.
Not in the sense, you know, like when you learn a language,
excuses.
you learn it for your job, you learn it for social situations, but I have zero experience in English with any construction lingo. And so in German, it's like...
Excuses.
Hey.
No, I agree and I disagree, because...
There are some things that I probably could do, but the problem is when they ask questions back, I am lost then, because I usually don't understand half of what they're saying.
Danielle, same here, first of all. Second, most of the time someone asks me, I don't know, or I call Stefan, which I did 1,000 times.
But you have the benefit of when it's your native language, you remember a word that you've never heard before that somebody told you.
Sure.
I don't have that benefit. So if someone says something to me that I'm like, I don't even know that word, I wouldn't be able to repeat the word.
No, I
because
agree.
It doesn't stick.
But that is something that you learn, especially when like my vocabulary or my lingo in terms of building expanded a lot.
I mean, mine did
in the last couple of months. And compared to now, I understand way more now than I understood at the beginning of the whole thing, which is obviously something that is natural. And by that, you could also do that, with
Sure.
I'm not saying that you should, because it's fine. I'm fine with that. And I'm also
constantly, when I'm on the phone with somebody, writing everything down that they say.
No, the thing is, I prefer it the way it is, because then everything, you don't want to have two people and the one person knows about that and the other person knows about that.
Yeah.
And I also don't want to talk back and forth all the time, because there's no point. So, and it's still comparably a small construction site.
Yeah.
And like the most of it, like the
majority.
Yeah, but the more complex things are done basically. Yeah. So from this time on out now, it's like pretty straightforward and like I'm not saying easy or not that much, because it's a lot, but it's pretty straightforward. So yeah.
But I was trying to pay you a compliment.
Yeah, I don't care. No, please tell me.
I mean, you've heard it before, but I'm very grateful for all the things that you do, because I try to always make myself available when I'm available, in terms of, like when I'm not working, if there's stuff to do, I want to make myself available to help, which I think I do.
Most of the time, yeah. I would say 95% of the time, which is fine. Because
the only time that I wouldn't is if you say you don't need my help, and I always ask. 100% of the time I ask if you need help.
The thing is, it's fine.
But I also don't want to just like stand around if there's nothing for me to do, which is why I always ask if you need the hands.
I know.
So that's how I try to contribute, is by being there working when the help is needed. Yeah. Or cooking, or, making
sometimes
sure
it's
you have something to eat.
Sometimes it's for me out just being there, just standing there, looking what they're doing. First of all, because it's interesting, and second of all, to just talk to them and keep them company.
Yeah.
And that has been not a lot, but sometimes the case where I couldn't really do anything or help, but keep them company and talk to them and yeah. Fucking kids.
Hey.
No, it's fine. But they're really loud. I should get my bat.
So what are some things that you think you could, like, that would help you specifically
finish the construction site?
No.
What?
No.
That's a thing?
Let me finish.
Okay.
When you get these feelings of frustration or you're feeling annoyed by something, like in this in that split second when you go from not being annoyed to being annoyed, what is something for you that you think would help, if you didn't vocalize it, how to get it out of your head quickly?
I think a pretty fast and easy thing is to just, first of all, if it's really something that is substantial, or if you feel is substantial, a dog barking is not substantial, that's a small little thing, I can learn to ignore it, or at least tell myself, hey, it doesn't matter. And I've been doing that and it worked. But if you feel like it's something substantial, like if it could be a fight or an argument with someone, then most of the time it helped to just ask myself, like, would that still matter in a year? Or how would you feel?
Or will it still matter tomorrow?
Or tomorrow, even tomorrow, yeah. But you can, like, within a year, you can actually make out if it's something really important. Because, and the thing is, with that, you can basically almost diminish everything, because almost nothing that annoys us is worth being annoyed, because it doesn't matter in a year. Some stuff matters maybe in a week still, or tomorrow, but like 99%, I would say, it doesn't matter, or maybe more than that, doesn't matter in a year.
I think another thing that at least helps me, that I think would also help you, is to ask yourself in that moment, is this within my control?
Or that,
like, can I change this? And if you can change it, then
tell the dog to
try
shut
to
up.
change it. Without using any type of anger or any type of, forcefulness.
Yeah.
But am I in control of this? Can I can I change the situation? Can I change how this makes me feel? If you can't change it, then it's something you got to just let go.
Sure.
So I think what you said
Easier
is good
said than
too.
done,
Is it?
but
No, sure.
I agree.
Sure, it's easier said than done. That's with anything. That's the same with anxiety, you know.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I totally agree.
That are outside of our control most of the time.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, and I think that's a good way to see it and to feel about it and to learn or incorporate, because it ultimately makes your day easier.
Yeah.
And your life, maybe. You know, high blood pressure and shit. You don't want to have that stuff.
I mean, I've been thinking a lot about that kind of stuff. Just what's really important in life and what things are not so important.
Wow.
Very profound.
Yeah.
But I think about it a lot lately.
You sitting in the tree like, what things are important and what things are not so important? You made a list.
Mm-hmm. No, but I think about that stuff now.
Dogs.
Like, I think about it a lot lately. And because I also am trying to keep my stress levels at a certain level. I'm really good with words today.
You're at an age where you should think about those things. You're not getting younger, you know. You're pretty old.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just a fact.
But because I've been thinking about those things, it has given me this really kind of a new outlook on just life in general, like why we're here, what life is really about.
Wow. So really profound shit.
Not really, though.
Oh.
Because to me, it feels simple. It doesn't feel like life is this grand.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
It's simple. And for me,
ultimately, life doesn't even matter for us, right?
It's just about being around the people that I love.
Right. Making the best out of it.
Making the most out of it and doing what's best for my body depending on, you know, what I want for my future. That's also important.
Sure. And doing something like a workout now is thanking your future self.
Exactly.
It's giving your future self maybe a better body to handle stairs when you're 70 or 80. Yeah.
But that kind of thinking has really helped with my stress lately, because I also have a lot of stress about many different things. Or I would say worries about things, and I try to reduce the way that it stresses me, like the level that it stresses me out.
Yeah.
And it's been helping a lot just to kind of analyze those things like the way you talked about. Just like asking yourself the questions, is this important in a year? Is this important tomorrow? Can I control this?
I mean, what I know, and I want to end with that, is...
Yes, please, because I'm getting a sunburn.
That I haven't had really downtime in a while. Like away, like the last real downtime was the time when we were with your mom. Mm-hmm. Because I don't even consider the one weekend we were away for a night or two nights. 2 nights. Downtime. It was nice.
It was nice.
But it was just a weekend.
It wasn't long enough. Yeah.
Right. So the time we had with your mom was super nice and much needed, because I had a lot of stress before that. And right now I'm at like a level where I know, okay, if I would have a month where I don't do anything, like I have a month off and you're traveling for 2 weeks of those 4 weeks, I would need that, like super, super needed. And I'm already looking forward to London, obviously, and then also maybe in fall at some point where I can take off time and just enjoy, first of all, the things we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Finally being able to enjoy them, and you know, just sitting down and just inviting people maybe, and just you know, not focusing on, okay, tomorrow those workers come and have to do that and blah blah, you know.
But that's the other thing that you can work on. You obviously have to have some sort of schedule, and you have to know when things are happening, and you have to call people. Obviously, that's part of it. But you can also learn to, in the downtime, give yourself a little bit of time off from that, not thinking about, oh, tomorrow I have to do this, and that. You know, you don't need to do that every day. You don't need to constantly be thinking about what's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Especially in your downtime. Find time in your work time to do that, because then it's productive. But if you're using your downtime, which you already don't have that much of, to stress about what's coming tomorrow or what's coming next week, then you're stealing from your own downtime.
Yeah, I agree.
And you can make the rest of the experience so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because try to look at the positives of it. It's still exciting that it's all happening.
No, it is.
And
it is.
as stressful it can be, it's as it can be. It's so fun to visualize how everything's going to look when it's done. And the fact that we're putting our own blood, sweat, and tears into this.
Are you putting your
thing
blood
that we're
in?
going to. I cut myself multiple times today.
Okay. Good.
But just the fact that when we're done, looking back at everything that we did to make it happen is also very rewarding.
No, I know. And the thing is, I mean, we can do that already, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we've done so much. I was just looking through pictures. I was organizing all the pictures on my phone and putting them on my computer and organizing them there. And I organized all the construction pictures so far. It is insane.
Yeah.
Like, to think about to see the pictures from where we started in May, April, to where we are now. Like, it's nuts.
I agree. And there she comes. And being loud and obnoxious.
And again, look what you're doing.
I'm more kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're basically done anyways. So.
Yeah, we should end the episode.
I'm taking your thing now. If you like what you hear, if you enjoy listening to our podcast, and would like to hear more, it really helps us out if you rate the podcast, review the podcast,
share the podcast,
share it, especially sharing it. That really, really helps us. I think probably more than anything.
Yep.
Like if you just have a buddy or something who you think might like it, or a family
post it
member,
on your Instagram story.
Yeah. You can follow us on any platform, basically. Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, all of it. We've got it all. Yeah. Eventually we're going to do something with our Patreon. Right now we have a Patreon.
Yeah, we do.
But maybe at some point we'll make some sort of like more of an incentive
I think we'll do some merch, maybe
some merch and maybe some like exclusive content or something.
Yeah. Like
porn. Hashtag tainting.
I just wanted to say some juicy pictures and videos. Okay, but that's it.
That's it. Watch out for deer.